program, and they'll say, well, if you talk to Phil's office, and that's when the fun really starts. But we are really happy to have you here today. You can tell spring has sprung because the buds start sprouting, and so does the government advertising. And I get a chuckle every week now when I open the Brant News, and there's another Ontario government paid ad. So far, my friend Mr. Levac has congratulated teachers on being teachers. He's congratulated students on being students. He congratulated and wished everybody a happy St. Patrick's Day, and Dave doesn't even drink. Made no sense to me. But anyway, I am so happy to have our leader, Tim Hudak, back here in Brant. I can tell you, I've been working on federal and provincial campaigns, as a few of you know, Bill and Crawford, since I was 13 years old, and that's quite a while. And I can tell you that in all those years, here in Brantford and in Brant Riding, we have never had a provincial leader who has devoted so much time and attention to our riding as has Tim Hudak. He has been a constant support to me and to our team. Here is a leader at Queen's Park who really cares about prosperity in Brant, about getting our area back on its feet, about new jobs, about support for seniors, about affordable energy so that people can pay their hydro bill at the end of the month without having to worry about how they're going to pay for their groceries. Yeah. These are the things that have drawn me back into provincial politics, because these are the things that concern Tim, and I want to be part of that team that makes those things happen. So, friends, join me in welcoming our leader, the next Premier of Ontario, Tim Hudak.
All right,
Well, thanks very much for the kind words, folks. Thanks for being here. Really appreciate you taking the time before a holiday weekend to gather here and get ready for the campaign. Thanks for the warm welcome. And I'm glad we're back to the show. We were just here, I think, at this very table about 3 weeks or so ago, talking about jobs, and we were at Red Dragon just about an hour ago talking about our plan to get people back to work in Ontario. What I like about the Sherwood, it fill up your plate. I told Ed there to get the large salad next time. I think it looks like about 20 pounds. But it's a good thing, you know what? Fill up. Get that energy going. Fill yourselves up with that, because I'm going to need it in a few weeks. So we said Bill Gillies at Queen's Park as our next MPP.
All right.
I get excited about this because it's finally our chance to make a difference in the province of Ontario. I really appreciate Phil McColeman being here. Phil, I know how busy your schedule is as an MP. Sad day for many of us. Phil and I both at Jim Flaherty's funeral yesterday. A great Canadian, proud Conservative wife, Christine, of course, my deputy leader, sits next to me there in the House. The chair has been empty since Jim's passing last week. But it was also inspiring to see what happens, the respect that people get for somebody who stands for principle, who tells you where they want to go, and what Conservatives is all about, to make sure we've got a strong province, a strong country, so we can look out for the little guy, help our most disadvantaged Canadians. That's what Flaherty stood for, that's what Coleman stands for, and we make Ontario strong again, so we can help our most vulnerable and get people back to work in our province. That's what this election is all about.
All right. Okay.
Quick stories, and we'll say a few more hellos because we got to get ready for this campaign. You know, my grandfather came to Ontario from what was then Czechoslovakia. A Slovak immigrant, didn't speak a word of the language, only a few bucks in his pocket. Actually settled in southwest Ontario, down in Sarnia, where the family ended up running a business, this whole restaurant. And he worked hard, a lot of back-breaking labor, a lot of new Canadians do. He paid for the rest of the family to come across the ocean. He loved this place. And he said to me, Tim, you know what, there's one thing you should always know about Ontario. He said, if you work hard, you love your family, you respect your neighbor and the law, and you give back a little bit more than you take, there's no place like it anywhere on this entire planet. That's what Ontario is all about. That's the promise we have. No better place to get a job and start a business. No better place for somebody who didn't speak a word of the language to provide for your kids and grandkids. But now as a father of 2 little girls, I worry we're losing it. I worry it's slipping away. You may have heard the happy news. We just, my wife gave birth to a little girl, Maitland, 3 weeks ago.
All right.
Beautiful little girl. She slept 5 hours last night, which is good. Happy about that. Actually, my daughter Miller, who's 6, was talking to Maitland today at 3 weeks, telling her that Easter is coming, what Easter is all about. Being a 6-year-old is a little bit less about Jesus, more about chocolate, and spreading the word about Easter holiday. But they're a few years from getting into the workforce. I got a friend Larry, he's got 2 daughters also, and they're in their 20s. They did everything they were supposed to do. They went to school, one got her master's degree, another got her BSc, worked summer jobs to pay their tuition, it's pretty expensive these days. They did everything by the rule book. And the good news is, Larry's daughters, they both have good jobs these days. Bad news? Neither one is in the province of Ontario.
Yep.
So come Mother's Day next month, it's going to be a bit of a lonely house around the kitchen table. Come Thanksgiving in the fall. You know what Phil and I want to do? We want to get Ontario back on top. We got 1 million jobs planned to put people back to work and see that young talent, those young women, come back to the province of Ontario to make their own way, to bring those families together and give them a future in their home province in Ontario. That's what we're fighting for each and every day.
Go.
Here we're talking about, as I went around, we're so frustrated with a government that only cares about itself.